Hey YouTube, this is Alexander, and today I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on Android Wear for iOS. So let's go ahead and get started. So after much speculation and evidence, Android Wear has officially landed in the iOS App Store. Now Google announced it earlier today and stated that it will be available for iPhones 5 and 5C and beyond as long as they're running iOS 8.2 and higher. Now let's go ahead and talk real briefly about the history of Android Wear. So Android Wear launched in 2014 and basically allows you to receive notifications from your phone, get Google Now information, and track your fitness habits all via swipeable cards. But around April of this year, developers were able to get a sort of working port over to the iPhone of Android Wear. Now I say sort of because it was pretty much half-baked and you could only receive notifications and you couldn't reply to them or do pretty much anything else that Android Wear natively allowed you to do running on Android, but nonetheless it was done. However, today is the golden day for those waiting for Android Wear who are using an iPhone because, like I said, they've announced it. So let me go ahead and tell you why I think this is actually a good thing. So for one, it offers more choices to iOS users, something that Android users have had the luxury of enjoying for, well, since the beginning of Android and Android Wear. They've pretty much always had this kind of customization or choice. But now that it's available for iOS users, they're no longer confined to either the relatively expensive Apple Watch or the cheaper alternative Pebble. They can choose from square or circle, Android or iOS, or Pebble, and within the Android choice, they have still more choices. So basically they can choose between OEM, they can choose between build quality, the style, square or circle, like I mentioned, different band options for each of those watches. They basically have a ton of more choices to choose from if they so wish, which is always awesome. I mean, who's against having different choices to select from? Now, secondly, Android Wear and Google Now is an awesome thing to have, and it's something that neither the Pebble or Apple Watches have. It's super useful without being cumbersome to check, and it makes it great just to be able to glance at the weather, or say you have something from Google Now like a package is shipped or a news article or something from Google Now. It's super useful because the Google Now ecosystem is just awesome. Now, despite these two pluses, there is one major drawback that Google has stated, and that's basically the number of Android Wear watches that are supported right from the get-go. So Google has basically stated that only the LG Watch Urbane is supported for iOS running Android Wear, which is definitely a bummer, but there have been some users who have had no problems getting the Moto 360 to work. There's no hacks, no workarounds. As long as it was running Android Wear 1.3, they were able to get it paired with their iPhone and no problem. So hopefully that would mean the same for other Android Wear watches that are running Android Wear 1.3. You just do the same thing, open up the Android Wear app on your iOS device, turn on your Android Wear device and plug them up, and you should be good to go. So hopefully that's the case. If not, then it is a sort of a drawback that there'd only be two watches that work with it and one official, the LG Watch Urbane. But like I said, hopefully it works out just fine where any Android Wear watch running 1.3 can be paired. But anyway, I think that this is a great option for iOS users because it gives them even more choice when searching for a smartwatch, and good for Google and its partners because it means more potential customers. Not to mention the heat that Apple may feel from having a strong competitor in its own space. But then again, how many iOS users are actually looking to get a smartwatch, let alone Android Wear? Anyway guys, that's pretty much going to end it for this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe down there for more videos from me. And don't forget to follow me on Google+, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and Periscope. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.